Okay, this is my setup video, and the first thing I do is print out all my Light-O-Rama channels and what they go to. If you look there, you can see where each thing is supposed to go, the controller number and the circuit number. The next thing, you have to make up, in my case, 84 extension cords. And the easiest way to do that is to buy these vampire plug receptacles, the female and male. These happen to be the SPT2s, and these happen to be the SPT1s. And then I have SPT1 cord here. I had both. The SPT1 is less fire or weather resistant, so I use it in areas that are not as prone to get wet. Here's the plug and the cover, and you simply take the cable and put it in the slot, and then take this and move it in until it stops. There's a stop there. And that way you can make custom lengths. If you need 2 feet, you got it. If you need 22 feet, you got it. I then write on each end, plug end, cover, the element abbreviation and the controller number and the channel number, so I can know what that extension cord was to next year. And then I have labeled all my different elements. This is bush 1, bush 2, and bush 3 in the back. And of course I came up with a little sign that told you what channel, FM channel to tune to for the music. And I have small palm 1, 2, and 3. It's a green, red, and multi. And in the back is hedge 1. And of course the hedge and the bushes all have net lights. Here's an example of the extension cords being custom length. Out to bush 1, bush 2, and bush 3, and then those going up to the palm. And we have them all coming back up, and I hid them behind the bush or the hedge, and the net lights on the hedge. And then I go up and over the hedge. Here's the back of the hedge, and most of them are zip tied together, but I zip tied prematurely and got a couple that are not. They're still loose. Okay, and so they're all kind of secured, and here's controller number 1. And there's 16 female plugs to come out I can plug into. Okay, up at the peak I have a timered outlet, and controller number 2 is up there, again with 16 female plugs, and that controls most of everything on the house. Mini tree up there, the icicle lights and the ridge multicolored lights, as well as all the snowflakes. And there's the snowflakes come down, and the wreath has its own channel as well. Okay, and then I took number 3 and hid it behind this column. And again, 16 female plugs and extension cords to all of them. Different elements. Most of what 3 controls is my figurines, some palm trees, and the some of the candy cane stuff. So you can see there's lots of extension cords used. And this is the dog. We got this dog because he resembles our dog. And so here's a blower. That's on just a timered outlet. It doesn't have its own separate channel. What I did is I cut the light string and put on a zip vampire plug, and so it has its own channel to light up the light separately from the blower. And I take the extension cords, and where they are on the rock walkway, I kind of buried them under rocks. Then they come out and do the snowman and the palms and the candy cane light and fence strings. Okay, and I have some heavy-duty extension cords to come out to controllers 4. That's actually 6. Controller 5 is actually up in the big tree up front. It just has 4 channels. I'll show it to you next. But these are the palm trees. And so there's, in this case, only 7 channels that go up. Next year I'm gonna do 8 per tree. Red. This one's green. And then white in front. I did the white one first, and I didn't quite get the spacing the same, so it was shorter, which actually was okay, but I'd like to have the height about the same on all of them. And as you can see, there's 16 more female plugs and 16 more female plugs. And I have extension cords going up the back. To each section, giving me 7 sections in this case. I'll have 8 next year. And each tree has its own set of extension cords that go up. More extension cords. Come out to the snowman and the deer, the bushes, and the candy cane fence. Unfortunately, that section of candy canes burnt out about 2 weeks into the display, and so I'm gonna have to work on that to figure out what went wrong. Okay, here's the big tree out front. It has 4 trunks. Each trunk is wrapped with a different color, and then because it's LED, I'm using the actual trunks as or the light strings on the trunks as extension cords. Here are the female plugs, extension cord. Here's the power cord there in the center, and then so that goes up to these cords here, up to the controller box where I have 4 female plugs that I put extension cords on, came back down and put them into my light strings, and then wrapped each string, and then use the string as an extension cord up to the C9 lights in the canopy. And then the lights in the canopy, I just have a 8-foot A-frame ladder and a 16-foot painter's pole that I take, and I took a painter's roller and bent it to make it into like a hook. And then I just shove them up there, and if you can see the branches, the new growth is all pointing up, so it kind of creates like a hook area or trough, and I put those in there, and we've had some good winds that didn't blow any of it down, so it's a good method. Now the controller boxes provide the power and the switching of each circuit on and off, but this box here is the mini director and the FM transmitter. You can see this cord here, that's the Cat5 cable that comes in and provides the data. The director has an SD card that I punch in and gives the sequencing, tells the controllers when to go on and off on each channel. And then you can see that there's a little antenna that comes down for my FM transmitter. And I get really good reception. I can get this station 2 blocks away. So from the mini director, each controller is connected with a Cat5 cable. You can see going to there, and except for the one out front, which is a wireless, has a wireless receiver, and then there's a transmitter up by the mini tree that beams the signal out to the front tree. Okay, controller number 1, I wired a outlet, 20 amp outlet out there, and that's connected to this timer here, along with the back of the house. Also has some separate outlets, and they're controlled with this timer. And then last year I had this new timer put in, controls these two, as well as I had 2 extra 15 amp outlets. So a total of 4 15 amp outlets. And 2 of them are controlled by timers. So the dog is fished off of one of these extension cords here, and then the other part of it controls one of the controllers on the palm trees, and the outlet on the right controls the other palm tree. The outlet on the far left is the front tree, and I buried a weatherproof extension out there to power that a long time ago, and it's powering the 4-station controller that's on the tree out front. That's my setup so far. Next year will be even better.